Hey there, Bracy here. So I'm back with another vlog coming at you. If you've noticed over the last 4 or 5 days, I cut my beard and now it's kind of growing back in. I got a bit nervous that people were like looking at me funny. Honestly, like I had a weird kind of occurrence in New York that really made me feel like I was being targeted in a way that made me like very self-conscious, and I was like, man, I guess I gotta like cut this beard and stop looking so Middle Eastern, honestly, which is effed up because you should never really have to change who you are to feel safe in the world. But the reality is you do have to change yourself to feel safe in the world, which is kind of awful. But then also you have to look at like why that is, and ultimately it's because we don't all grow up in a context that allows us to be who we are and honestly approach who we are from a very young age, which, you know, that would give us, I think, the appropriate amount of time becoming comfortable with yourself to be okay with being yourself out in the world. But to do that, you'd have to grow up in conditions that you're accepted for who you are, which not a lot of people do. Not a lot of communities really fully set up to like accept you who you are, except for, I would argue, probably blue zone communities, areas where people live to be over 100. I feel like you find consistently communities who strike that fantastic balance of community exercise, personal responsibility, but grown within the context of a community that accepts you from a child for being who you are, no matter how sick, twisted, or perverted, or I don't know, anxious or aggressive or curious or quiet or whatever you were as a kid. There are communities that really helped cater to just like, hey, it's okay, you're a kid. Like, don't worry about it. That's not how I feel like most modern day culture has been on the West, or people who emulate the West, or cultures that emulate the West. I feel like our culture we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely, starting to understand the inner workings of how do humans work. What are the needs of a human? I know the last couple of videos I talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I gotta actually check it. Let's check. Oh, I can't. Man, this is interesting. My phone is everything. So now, because it's my camera, I'm like, I need to do something on the phone, but I can't because it's really annoying. But anyway, I got to make sure that I'm saying that name right because I haven't checked in a long time. It's Maslow or Mavlo. Mavlo? I think it must be Maslow. Whatever. Well, we don't cut, we don't edit, we just go, right? So, yeah, ultimately I'm just talking about communities being able to accept children for who they are, and that's a better way to not just grow a child, but ultimately grow a community and grow connection, grow culture, is ultimately starting at what are the needs of a human broadly, and then working towards what are the needs of a human individually. Because ultimately, I'm willing to bet that the needs of an individual human, they kind of grow out of the conditions that grew that human, whether genetically or environmentally. Either way, the conditions that helped grow that human, that helped produce that human, are ultimately responsible for the needs of that human, the needs, the wants, the desires. What sucks is we live in a culture now that our needs and desires kind of conflict. The things that we need, be it sexually, be it edibly, socially, things that we need conflict with other things that we need. We need certain foods, we need certain chemicals, we need a certain sleep cycle. But if that sleep cycle conflicts with the type of work that you are good at, you need money to survive in this culture, but that goes against your sleep. Like, your needs are conflicting. I mean, I'm not going anywhere profound with all this. Just kind of airing out. Just ultimately the frustration with that idea that I didn't have to, and I should make that clear. I didn't have to cut my beard, but when you get into a situation where it makes you seriously considered, is this worth it? Is having this thing that I'm not even trying to grow it, I just don't feel like shaving all the time. Is it worth a hassle? Even if it is or it isn't true, the idea that it's in the back of my head, it's actually taking up processing power. I'm actually spending time, the most valuable resource I have, thinking about things that don't matter, and they shouldn't matter. But, you know, this is the shit, right? I'm gonna leave it there. That's where I'm frustrated. I don't know. I got nothing else good. I mean, I'm thinking about a lot of things, but we'll talk about that. Sorry, I've got some popcorn in my mouth. I'm trying to move that around. All right. Thanks for taking the time. See you next time.